Well, hello there, Super E Nation. This is your host, A Train, and I am here visiting with our good buddy, Super E.
What up, A-Train? It's freezing, isn't it?
Yes, it's cold. It is very cold. I see you're in your garage. You're all parked up.
Yes.
Uh, did you get kicked out of the house again?
No, I just, it's Saturday, so kids are home. And so,
Yeah.
I don't want him hear him listening to Dad talk about butt beads.
You know that you're a good father, Super E. You really don't. You don't want your daughters hearing that. That's good.
Right.
Um, even though they are number one listeners, I'm just kidding. They don't listen to it. Um, okay. Well, what? Tell us something.
Well, today I'm going to talk about back in the day when we got tons of complaints to go to this store that was kind of like, it wasn't a strip mall, but it was just one big store. And it was like a mini mall across the street from the big mall on the other side of the county line. So
Okay.
this
Yes.
smaller mall would call us up and say, "Man, we got all kinds of complaints of dudes masturbating in front of kids in our bathroom."
Ugh.
So
Okay.
we go down there, and Super E was a lot younger back then, and I look like I just got out of high school, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And with my long flowing David Cassidy locks, dreamy.
You were just like Johnny Depp, 21 Jump Street, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, so I head down there, and what the bathroom was, you'd go into the public bathroom, and they had like 10 stalls, and then behind you, you had 10 urinals. If you were standing at the urinal, you had 10 stalls behind you with no doors on it. And I guess these dudes were all sitting in there, the perverts, and when kids would come in and would use the urinal and they turn around, the guys would be sitting on the toilet with their erections and start masturbating. So we got some pissed off moms
Yeah.
complaining about this shit.
Right.
So, I go down there and I'm in there and I'm going to the urinal, acting like I'm urinating, minding my own business. And there was a dude behind me. He looked like he could have been in his late 40s. And he was a very distinguished looking guy.
Hmm.
He had like the overcoat and he was sitting there on the commode and he wasn't doing anything. He was just looking at me. And he just kept looking at me. And I would be like, duh, 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 and I'd kind of turn around. I'm like, this dude, he's just sitting there. He's not doing anything, getting himself locked up. And then so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just leaving. He gets up, comes out, and he goes, "Hi, my name is Carl. What's your name?" And I'm like, I told him my name, and somehow he heard Ronnie. He goes, "Hey, Ronnie, how would you like to walk outside with me and have a little chat?" I'm like, "Okay." I said, I think this guy's up to something. He's trying to be careful.
Right.
So he goes, "Hey, Ronnie, did you drive a car?" I said, "Yeah, that's my car over there." "Well, let's go sit inside it, Ronnie." What? And he kind of reminded me of the creeps on South Park. Remember when the perverts were globbing on
Yeah.
the Cartman because he said he was looking for mature male friends? That's how he talked.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he'd go, "Ronnie, oh, I love your car. Is it fast?" And I go, "Yeah, it's fast." And he'd go, "Oh, fast. Ooh." And I'm like, oh, my back up to see me. So I get in the car with him, and they all start fondling their crotch. And he goes, "Hey, Ronnie, you look a little nervous. Are you nervous?" And I go, "I kind of am." I go, "I don't know if we should be doing this in public." He goes, "Oh, Ronnie, set your mind at ease. This is okay. This is the easiest thing in the world to do, Ronnie." I go, "What's easy about that? I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble because I'd be scared." And then he's like, "Oh, you're scared. Oh, don't be scared, Ronnie. I'm here to protect you." And he's rubbing his crotch more. And I'm like, I need to get this guy out of my car. And he goes, "Hey, Ronnie, you know what's really easy?" I go, "What's that?" He goes, "Hey, Ronnie, why don't you take your dick out, start stroking it?" And I said, "I don't know if I could do that. I'm a little uncomfortable." He goes, "Oh, it's so comfortable and easy, Ronnie. Watch how easy it is." And he pulls out his penis, and he's at full mast, and he starts
Uh,
beating his meat. And he goes, hey, and he asks some weird questions. "Hey, Ronnie, how was your childhood?" And I was like, "Man, this is weird." And I was like,
oh dear.
"It was pretty hard growing up, you know. I had a really mean dad." I'm just making all this. I had a really mean dad who's a big drunk. "Oh, did he yell at you a lot?" I'm like, "Yeah, he beat me." And he's getting, "Oh boy." And he seemed like he was beating his meat faster.
Oh,
And he finally goes, "Randy, it's so easy. Just take your meat out and do what I'm doing. See how easy this is?" And I said, "I think you're right. I think this is going to be easy." He goes, "See?" He goes, "Show me how easy it is." I said, "Okay." And I reached back and I grabbed my wallet and I said, "Oh, it is easy. Look." And I flashed my badge. And he goes, "Oh, shit, Ron," as he's still beating his meat. I said, "You can stop beating your meat now. I'm the police." And he goes, "Oh my God. Oh my God." And I go, and then he goes on to tell me that he is a counselor at a school. And I'm like,
oh,
"Oh my God."
oh. So he's a counselor, and he's asking you those weird ass questions about your childhood. That's creepy.
Yes. And
That's creepy.
I was like, you know, this dude is going. And so he goes off to jail. And then I went in there for another investigation on a different night, this was during the middle of the day. And it was
Okay.
warm out. So, kids were all running around. So I'm strolling into the bathroom and I see about a 12 or 13-year-old kid standing at a urinal as I'm walking in. And all of a sudden I can see that he keeps turning around and looking in a stall. Very confused look on his face. So
Mm-hmm.
I walk past the kid and I see this old, creepy crypt keeper looking old man sitting on a toilet. And I could tell he was fondling himself. But when I walked by, he stopped. So I didn't have a charge
Okay.
on him because he's still in the bathroom, in the stall.
Uh-huh.
And so I guess what the kid was looking at was this old man was masturbating while he watched him. And I was like, "That son of a bitch." So the kid left and I stood there and I would kind of turn around and see what the guy was doing. And he was being real sneaky about it. I think he was nervous to see who I was, because
Uh-huh.
these guys aren't stupid. And then
Right.
finally, as I stood there, he couldn't control himself anymore. I turned around. He stands up, walks out of the stall, and he's masturbating right in the middle of the bathroom. So now he's
Oh,
left the stall. He's left the stall. He's out of his privacy. Being in the stall, he had the right to privacy, whatever.
okay.
So I tell him I don't want to cause a commotion inside the bathroom because there was other people that were coming in and leaving and all that. So I just said, "Hey, let's go out to my car." He's like, "Okay, young fella." So we go out to my car. We get in, and my backup can see that I'm going to the car with this dude. And
Right.
I jump in, and he's like leaning over, acting like he's wanting to give me a head or something. I showed him my badge. I said, "You are under arrest for, exposing yourself in public." And he goes, "Wait a minute, you son of a bitch." He goes, "I'm an undercover police officer. I'm in the middle of an investigation. You must release me right now." I said, "You ain't no police. Where's your badge and credentials?" "Don't have him because I'm so undercover." He goes, "All I have to do is give one code word and they're going to come swamping in on you and lock you up for, interfering with an investigation." I said, "Well, Paw, go ahead and give the code word." And he goes, "I will. Nobody's stopping you. Let's see these guys come in." And all of a sudden the guy looks at me and goes, "Zebra 3, rat in the trap, rat in the trap." And I'm looking at him. I'm like, "Are you done?" And he's screaming, "Operation Rat in the Trap. Come on in. Take him down." And so I give the hand signal that we got to grab. And so my backup comes in. I go, well, is this the backup you're talking about? He goes, hey, they don't look familiar. I said, yeah, because they're taking you to jail. You can't be standing in the middle of the bathroom masturbating with kids coming in and out. And he's like, son of a bitch. And he went off to jail.
Okay, that was not a bad comeback by the old man.
It
You
was
know,
pretty
you
slick on
say,
his feet, wasn't it?
yeah, you're under arrest. No, you're under arrest. I'm undercover.
I almost
Uh,
went, okay.
okay. Hey, so a couple things I want to go over. So you talked about uh, these dudes uh, in the stall that's a kind of a privacy area. Explain that a little bit to the listeners.
Well, here's the thing. If you're in a stall, you have the right to privacy. And I
Right.
guess even with a no door on it. So
Okay.
I thought that was weird. But
Yeah.
since he was in the stall, I had to make sure I had absolute positive probable cause. So I needed
Right.
that guy to step out of the stall because a couple of years later we had a mall open up downtown, real nice. They had a
Yeah.
bathroom where they had stalls, and being downtown, it was a hot spot for this kind of activity. And
Right.
their stall doors were like, okay, little like 3.5, less than 4 feet tall. So, you shut the door and it was barely waist high. So
Okay.
anybody over the age of 8, as they walked past, they could see in the guy's stall, see what he was doing.
Right.
And me and Big Steve, we walked into this place to check the complaints. We walk in and there's some dude he's in the stall, the door's closed, but he's got his feet up on the stall, door with his pants around his ankles, and he's pleasuring himself. And of course, he's got a 14-inch penis, so you can't miss it. I think it was above the stall door. And we were like, okay, this is obvious. You can see this as you're walking by. And,
Right.
and so we ended up locking the guy up. It goes to court. And here's what the judge says. Did the stall have a door on it? I said, yes. And she goes, okay. I said, but the stall was probably less than 4 feet tall, so anybody
Uh-huh.
over the age of 10 could see in. The judge asked me again, but did the stall have a door on it? Yes. Case dismissed. I was like, you got to be shitting me. So I guess you could have put a string along the door.
Right.
Privacy.
And that would have constituted a door. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
police work can be very frustrating at times too.
right. Right. Well, you did a good job getting him out of or he came out of the stall and exposed himself, just to avoid even though there wasn't a door. I bet you would have been okay, but who
Yeah,
knows?
that
Right with the
exactly.
judge. Um, but the thing is this. So, uh, I remember back in the day, this was a real problem. There were lots of bathrooms around town where these dudes would go in and they would do this, expose themselves, perform sex acts. And it was a big deal. Just like this 13-year-old kid was in there just trying to
Right.
take a piss, and he sees some old dude in there cranking his meat. I mean, nobody wants that. Um,
Exactly.
now I've been out of the game for a while. Do you know, is this still a problem like it was back in the day?
I
The
don't know because I've been out of that for probably 12, 13 years. I know it was such a problem that when I went to visit my sister, she lived in a kind of a smaller city, and
Uh-huh.
it had one of them stores. It was like a J.C. Penney, but it had a different name. It was like to that town itself. And
Okay.
we was doing Christmas shopping. I go in there, and this, I thought, well, this is a small town. Ain't gonna. Hell, it was going on in there. I could tell that these guys were looking around at each other, just waiting for the opportunity. I was like,
Right.
I'm just trying to Christmas shop. Damn it.
I know. I'm off duty.
Yeah.
Uh, I wonder if with the advent of the internet, I wonder if they're more sly about it. I don't know. But I think part of the excitement for these guys was this whole doing it in public type situation, which I don't understand at all. But
I don't get it either. Going to the
yeah,
park, there must be it
right.
must be the excitement of not knowing of who's
Because
going to be there or whatever.
I mean,
I
it
don't
just
know.
goes back to the one line: get a room. Just get a
Exactly.
room. Do whatever the hell you
Exactly.
want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, uh, I appreciate that. That was pretty entertaining and informative there, Super E.
10-4, A train.
All right. Anything else? Any parting words?
Don't freeze to death.
Okay. And yes, we're going to get you back inside here shortly because you're looking a little chilly. I think I
I'm
see
actually getting
frost
used to
on
it
you.
now. I'm getting used
Getting
to it now.
frost. Okay. Okay. Very good. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. Come back and listen to the next one. See ya.
10-4.
Bye.
See ya.